You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. The estranged husband of a woman found dead in her Herrick's home has been charged with murder. Nassau police say 53-year-old Asif Qureshi stalked his wife for days before she was killed. Alina Asif was found dead at her home last Friday, asphyxiated and with severe burn marks in and around her face and mouth. She had filed for a divorce in 2023 and again this year. And only in Newsday, a Belle Terre attorney who served 18 years in prison for killing his parents before being exonerated can now argue a case before the Supreme Court. Martin Tankleff was 17 when his parents were murdered. 2 years later, he was convicted and sentenced to 50 years behind bars.
I wasn't going to die in prison and have history be that I was the murderer of my parents. And number two is that, when I got out, not if, when I got out, I would try to make a difference in society to make sure there were no other Marty Tankleffs.
He was exonerated in 2007 based on new evidence. And New York Attorney General Letitia James has pleaded not guilty to federal charges accusing her of lying on mortgage papers. James spoke after walking out of the courtroom today.
This is not about me. This is about all of us. And about a justice system which has been weaponized.
James was indicted this month after President Trump publicly called on the Justice Department to take action against her and other political rivals. Her trial starts in January. And early voting starts tomorrow, and you have a couple of ways to cast your ballot. Polling places will be open tomorrow through November 2nd. You can also vote early by mail. Now, voting times differ, mind you, between Nassau and Suffolk. Learn about the candidates on Long Island's Voters Guide at Newsday.com. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather, shall we? Had another picture-perfect day today. Tomorrow looks just as nice with temps near 60s, mostly sunny skies. Of course, we'll have that 7-day forecast for you later in the broadcast. A Herrick's woman was found dead in her home, and prosecutors say her husband killed her after she filed for divorce. Virginia Huey has more.
It's terrible. Any individual to do that to your wife or, the mother of your children.
Neighbors of Alina Asif are horrified over the murder of the mother of three in her home on Larch Drive in Herrick's. Police say the 46-year-old died at the hands of her estranged husband, Asif Qureshi.
Do you have anything to say?
Police say the 53-year-old Belrose man murdered his wife by covering her mouth with a cyanide-like substance.
It looked like apparently that whatever this compound was suffocated her with it over her face. That's why the burns in and around her face.
Investigators say Qureshi attacked his wife days after she demanded a divorce.
On Thursday the 9th, a process server went to serve him divorce papers. He refused to accept those divorce papers and started showing up at her house on the 10th, subsequent dates. Multiple dates that it showed a pattern of stalking her.
Police say on October 17th, Qureshi snuck into his wife's house while she dropped off their 7-year-old daughter at school and killed her when she returned home. Police say there were 5 reported domestic incidents at the house between Qureshi and his family dating back to 2023. While most of the fights revolved around finances, police say in one incident, Qureshi threatened his wife to make her swallow bleach.
Bad things happen. It happened here.
Qureshi was arraigned on second-degree murder charges and held without bail. A mourner left flowers at the house in memory of Asif, whose children must now grow up without her.
I hope there's enough family members that they'll kind of pick up the slack or do something because it's very sad.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Early voting starts tomorrow on the island, and in the race for Nassau County Executive, some political ads are sparking controversy. Newsday's Joy Brown has this LI Votes report.
From cell phones to mailboxes to TV screens, Nassau County residents are being inundated with political ads, especially in the race for county executive.
Bruce Blakeman's fighting for us.
Vote Seth Kozlow for county executive.
But one series of ads is getting a lot of attention and sparking some protest.
Americans are so sick and tired of politicians' lies and distortions.
Ads from the state Republican Party contend that Democrat Seth Kozlow, who is running against incumbent Bruce Blakeman, once said that women desire or fantasize about being raped. It's a contention Blakeman repeated during a Newsday TV interview.
He's got a problem with women. He talked about, he wrote a paper basically wanting to water down rape laws and laws that protected women, and basically said that one of the reasons why women falsely accuse men of rape is because they desire or fantasize to be raped.
Kozlow sat down with Newsday TV and called the accusation false.
They decided to go after a paper I wrote, a research paper I wrote in law school. Before I was a lawyer, it was an assignment I did where I was supposed to argue both sides of an issue. And in my paper, I cited to another paper that said those words. Wasn't my words. I cited to another author that wrote that.
Newsday's library staff did some digging and found Kozlow's paper in a 2013 edition of the Torah Law Review. It's titled Rape Shield Laws in the Social Media Revolution, Discoverability of Social Media. It's Not Private. The passage in question is on page 6, and a footnote on that passage shows the statement in the paper is attributable to someone else.
Voters demand transparency and honesty, not performative outrage, coupled with a failure to act.
Joy Brown for Newsday TV.
And first in Newsday, some commuters are outraged over an alleged LIRR time fraud scheme. Newsday transportation reporter Alfonso Castillo has this story.
Paying to ride the train to and from his Oceanside job each day, McCandy Germain has little tolerance for LIRR workers on the take.
Why are you stealing from us? That's what I feel like. You stealing from us.
And so Germain, like many other commuters, was outraged over the latest allegations of time abuse at the LIRR. As Newsday first reported, the MTA Inspector General has accused 36 LIRR workers in a scheme involving cloned employee ID cards, which were used to cover up for workers being absent from their jobs during their shifts.
They got to hold these people accountable. You know what I'm saying? They hold us accountable when we don't pay to get on the train.
According to investigators, workers bought a machine on Amazon.com that would let them clone employee ID cards that could be scanned on machines like this one. Now, armed with these cloned cards, workers were able to leave early or come in late, knowing that their coworkers could punch them in and out.
Well, I think it's horrible. It's just people trying to get over. People who think they can get away with things, they'll try it.
The alleged scam played out over nearly 3 years at LIRR facilities in Manhattan, Queens, and Ronkonkoma. Among the accused are some of the LIRR's highest overtime earners, including Martina Eugene, who made almost $240,000 just in overtime in 2023. When I recently visited Eugene at her Brooklyn apartment, she insisted her earnings were on the up and up.
Why did you have so much more opportunity to work overtime than your colleagues at the Long Island
It wasn't
Railroad?
working. When it come to them, they said no. I said yes.
The 36 accused workers have all faced a range of punishments, with some suspended without pay for 9 months, others leaving the railroad and losing some accrued earnings, and others facing possibly being fired.
It's really disheartening to me, and it makes me angry.
For their part, the union representing most of the workers involved in this scheme say that these workers accepted responsibility for what they did and have faced appropriate disciplinary measures. In Jamaica, for Newsday TV, I'm Alfonso Castillo.
Long Islanders are reaching deeper into their pockets to celebrate Halloween. Newsday business reporter Tori Parrish tells us why.
I'm here in Bethpage outside Spirit Halloween, talking to customers about their Halloween plans, what they're going to buy, if they're going to spend more than they spent last year. All of this is due to tariffs that went into effect this year that have made Halloween pricier in terms of candy, costumes, food and drinks, everything.
So I've been thrifting a lot of my costume. I couldn't really plan a costume. I planned around what I thrifted because the prices were high.
They were a little more expensive this year. I remember last year I bought a similar costume, something like this, just one of those throw-on ones, and it was a little less.
Consumers this year are expected to spend a record $13.1 billion. Now that's projected based on what people think they'll spend. Obviously, we don't know yet. But what we do know is this will be a pricier Halloween.
Turn back now. Despite that warning, visitors don't turn back. They happily meander through this wonderfully whimsical world of witches, wolves, and weirdos. This collection of costume characters is put together every year by a father and son duo.
It's a year of planning.
Gary Meagle used to put up elaborate Christmas decorations on his house on Wilson Street in Babylon. But about 15 years ago, he changed to a Halloween theme. Says the weather is a lot more cooperative in August than December to do all this work.
Close to 50 animatronics, about 20 to 25,000 lights.
All the stage scenes are built by Gary and his son, Gary Jr., and they change it up every year.
Saturday, we had lines going out down the block the entire time. Took you 10 minutes just to get to the top of the block to the bottom. Probably had about 700 people. It was a good turnout.
First time here, absolutely incredible.
Anthony Acevedo of Lindenhurst said it's like a professional haunted house, but it still didn't scare his little daughter, Ella.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I like that one. You like that one?
Now, you might think some of the neighbors secretly dread this time of year when hundreds of people drive in their block to see the display. Actually, it's just the opposite. Check out right across the street. Clear evidence that the Halloween spirit is contagious.
I didn't have nothing. I work late nights, and he went and put the one inflatable on my property. And then I started with my own, adding character by character.
And there's no shortage of characters here. Most you'll fear. Others may offer you a beer right at their bar stool. Or you can take a seat in the electric chair, the most popular spot for photos.
This is all for the town and for the kids.
And all for free. They do ask for donations to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. But for the Meagle family, there's also personal rewards.
It's great to be able to spend this time with my son.
It's true. There's really nothing like a happy, close-knit, all-American family. In Babylon for Newsday TV, I'm Doug Geed.
Things are heating up here in West Hempstead thanks to this flashy new barbecue steakhouse. So of course I had to invite my fellow food writer Andy Berlin to try out some of the food. You ready? Yeah. Let's do it!
Bruce is a certified halal restaurant that fuses Middle Eastern flavors with Texas barbecue.
Don't worry about the fire.
Oh!
We have Turkish, we have Syrian, we have Palestinian, Jordanian, and Egyptian, all mixed.
Not only is the menu unique, but the decor is one of a kind.
Cape buffaloes, got them from Texas, and they're originally from Africa. Some of these logs are probably 600-year-old.
Cheers! Cheers, girly. This mint lemonade is like spectacular.
We got Wagyu steak, which is just steakhouse. It's like super rare in the middle, and that's what I love. And then a mixed grill, which is in a lot of Middle Eastern countries.
I'm going for some chicken. It's so good. It's so juicy.
We have a Wagyu brisket. We slow cook it for about 12 hours, and we smoke it for a couple hours in the morning.
Ooh, the smoky, like peppery bark on that.
It was almost sweet too.
I love when a restaurant just does its own thing. You want to be Middle Eastern and Texas barbecue in New York?
Sure. But this is all halal.
When you come to Ruse, you get dinner and a show.
I never expected the meat to just drop. Like that was crazy.
When he took the meat and just...
Yes.
Thank you so much. I always have so much fun with you.
Yeah, me too.
Melissa Azafefa for Newsday TV.
All right, let's take a closer look at your 7-day forecast and see how Halloween is shaping up. First, let's talk about the weekend. All right, dry, near 60s, going to be sun and clouds. But next Friday looks like a little bit of rain, and Thursday, hopefully that pushes out or visits us sooner in the week so we stay dry on Halloween. But there's your forecast for you. It's your 7-day.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Now, for more on the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. I'm Ken Buffa. Have a great weekend and more news coming up.